Radio Perth.
Fair enough that much of the conversation on Saturday night was dominated by the impact that Teal independence might have on the lower house. We're still waiting to see what the situation is in Curtin, but it does look like it will be an independent gain. Kate Chaney taking on Celia Hammond, the sitting member in Curtin. But as I say, the vote count has been very slow today. And the last time I looked, Kate Chaney was about 3,300 votes ahead. We saw Australian voters come out in their droves on Saturday and beforehand to support third-party options. You voted for Greens in record numbers. And as I say, I think we're looking at 6 Teal independents who have won seats. But what's been overlooked, ladies and gentlemen, among the micro-parties that saw record turnout, the Legalise Cannabis Party, which received 242,000 votes in the Senate and currently sits on about 3.9% of the Senate vote in WA, ahead of the United Australia Party and Pauline Hanson's One Nation, both of which made a significant push for more representation. So tell me, how many of you decided to give Legalise Cannabis Australia a high profile in the Senate campaign? Were you trying to have a senator elected? Or were you just going, no, I don't know who they are. No, I don't like them very much. And, oh, well, yeah, maybe when I was younger I used to. Why not? Did you make that decision? The reason we talk about it is Legalise Cannabis in Western Australia have 2 members of the Legislative Council of the West Australian Parliament. So there's one thing to make a small joke about the circumstance, but the reality of it is that there is some political weight here. And Dr. Brian Walker joins me on the program. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Not bad. What do you make of this march into 4th place?
Well, to be honest, we're kind of expecting it. There's 2 major reasons. One you touched on earlier, of course, is that people are protesting, and we're a good protest vote. But the other, I'm getting more and more the sense that people actually are supporting us because we're not just a one-issue party. We're actually the broad middle part of Australia looking for social justice as well as bodily autonomy. Many things we could talk about.
Yes, indeed. Well, we can talk about bodily autonomy, and we can talk about how you feel about cannabis use and whether it should be decriminalised, whether it should be legal, and these arguments have been going on for some time. What other areas might you have wooed some of those voters towards your plan? Tell me some of those other things, because I'm trying to work out here whether it was purely cannabis-based or whether there are other aspects of your party that people might have been drawn to.
Well, I think, first of all, we are a positive party. We look at what we can do because we've sworn to serve the people of WA, and we mean that very sincerely. We're not in there for personal gain. It's a matter of service. And me, as a practicing doctor, I've been serving people all of my professional life. So this is just a natural step for me. So part of what I put forward is the idea of wellness, mental wellness in particular. That's a big one. Also the idea about social justice. I mean, it's not just that cannabis is far safer than alcohol, but it's yet been criminalised, and the stuff I prescribe as a doctor makes you automatically a criminal when you drive with the stuff I prescribe. That's intolerable, and people are saying, what else is the government doing that might be stupid, things that might need to be repaired, and we need fresh eyes and a fresh conscience in Parliament to actually make a significant change. And that's what we want to do.
My guest on the program this afternoon is Dr. Brian Walker, member of the Legislative Council from Legalise Cannabis. And we're talking about the fact that many Australians, 242,000 votes across the country, went to the Legalise Cannabis Party. I have to ask you, Brian Walker, how do you feel about the fact that Clive Palmer put between $80 to $100 million into the United Australia Party campaign? How does it feel knowing you got more votes in WA without, I assume, spending anything like that kind of dosh?
Well, I'm going to confess, I have sinned grievously. I rejoiced. I thought this was just recompense. I mean, someone who stood against WA and insulted us and tried to do us a $30 billion, I think it was just recompense. I'm very, very happy with that.
What happens next for your party?
Well, it's a very good question, because we did very well in the elections, although people wouldn't believe that. No seats, of course. How could you say you've done well? But 1/3 of the population voted for either one of the two major parties, and 1/3 voted for something different. And that represents, if you like, an appetite for change, for improvement, do things better. This fighting one against the other has to stop. We need to work for the improvement of our lives, not fight against other people. And so I think now in Legalise Cannabis, our task is to regroup and find out where can we work better, become more professional, if you like, in addressing the issues that face our population. So at the moment, people think, they make snide remarks, it's the Cannabis Party, and they expect we're pretty much dope heads. Well, we're not. We're very serious people doing a serious job, and we relish the chance of helping people to improve their lives.
I appreciate you speaking to me this afternoon. Thank you very much.
Geoff Hutchison.